We're talking coffee names, and before the break, Pete put a question to us. Kate, the long black, the Aussie long black.
On ice.
On ice.
Might be self-explanatory, the last bit.
I'm thinking a tall or super tall ice Americano.
Oh, in that case, because I think, Kate, you know what this is.
I
Right?
do know.
Am I wrong?
Australia.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Yes, yeah, long black. So the Americano as well, in England, because we do have the Bucks now, but there were long before that many English brands. Americano was not a term that I had really heard until I came to Korea.
Same here.
Yeah, and so I was like, what kind of coffee are we talking about? And then I get it, I'd be like, that's just like a black coffee. So in the UK, if it's not iced, you just ask for a black coffee.
In Canada, I have never, ever seen anyone drink an ice black coffee.
Yes, me neither, right?
Not once.
So after living here and moving back there in 2015 to the UK, I went to a coffee chain as well, not just an independent place. I was like, can I have an iced Americano? They knew what an Americano was, but they're like, oh, you want ice in it?
Yeah.
I was like, yes, please, because it was summertime. They put like 3 cubes and they really melted quickly. And I was like, this lukewarm coffee is not what I was looking for.
Good for a bath.
Yeah, so it's really like a kind of foreign concept. Back to actually the royal milk tea. The one thing about that kind of not gets my goat, but means it's not British tea. We never have cold tea. Right? So I've seen like these American blogs where they've gone to England and they've asked for a hot tea. And the waitress is like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean a hot tea?
Yeah, and the other thing is they often expect you to ask then, oh, what tea would you like?
Yeah.
Like chamomile.
It's like if you go to Canada, there's no need to say ice hockey. Just say hockey.
Do you have the non-ice hockey as well in Canada?
Yeah, field hockey.
Oh, you call it field in that case?
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's not nearly as common. So the first time when I came to Korea and people say like, oh, Steve, you play ice hockey? I'm like, well, what other type of hockey would I play? It's just a redundancy. So I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. In the UK, it's definitely, you order a cup of tea or just a cuppa even, and they will just get you what is technically, I suppose, black tea, but you never ask. If you want any other kind of tea, you have to specify first. I'd like a cup of green tea.
I remember it was my second year in Korea, I think, and my coworker had come back from the coffee shop, and she said, hey, they're giving away free coffee at the coffee shop down the street. I was like, oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But I asked her, so how do you say free coffee then? And she said, oh, just say 공차.
Oh.
And so I thought 공차 means free coffee.
Okay.
So I went to the coffee shop and they were like, 안녕하세요. And I was like, 공차. They just looked at me like, you're an idiot. What do you want?
You just want anything for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dear, yeah. and the difference is, the other Australia one, which has become big here that I had for the first time, a flat white, that I've seen a few times, is simply...
Okay, hold on. A flat white.
Yes.
Have you tried a flat white?
I'm thinking... Ooh, I don't know. I'm thinking like a small latte?
I guess it's a bit similar but different, right? Where you have... Kate, you've tried this as well?
Yeah, I have.
So I think it's the single espresso, which is the base for most coffees, then steamed milk and a thin layer of foam on top. And I don't think it's all mixed together, right? So it still looks pretty white.
Oh, I don't know if I've heard of this before.
So, because it's like the froth that's sitting on the top, you won't like mix it like a latte. You'll drink it directly from there, so it mixes as you kind of go in.
That sounds delightful.
It is. It's actually very different from having a latte. Latte, I would say, is a lot more milkier. This one, you can have a more stronger taste in the coffee.
Yeah, exactly, because you get it in different phases in one drink, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty good as well. And it's become like a cool drink here to have at the cafes, right?
Yeah, it's like you go in, you're like, oh, I'll have a flat white. And they're like, oh, you know your coffee. Kind of.
Or you're an Aussie. Yeah. I'm not saying Aussies don't know their coffee.
Ooh, you can walk into any coffee shop here and say flat white, and they'll know what you mean.
Yeah.
I think nowadays there's a lot of people that have been to Australia. They experienced their amazing coffee culture. They brought it to Korea, and so lots more cafes that have flat whites nowadays. Yeah.
Interesting. I want to try one of those. It sounds really good.